Are you currently using or interested in Notion but don't know what is the best plan for your needs? It could be that you're actually overpaying or missing out on essential features. In this video, I'm going to go over what's included in each plan, such as forms, offline mode, guest access, block limits, Notion sites, and more. I'll also cover tips on using the free plan, special discounts if you're a nonprofit, student, or educator. If you find this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's dive right in. To get started, let's first go over how is the pricing calculated in Notion. So Notion charges based off of the members that you have in your workspace. Now, if you click on the workspace and then if you go to settings, then you'll be able to see how many members you have in your workspace. So here you can see that I have one member, which means that I'm charged for one seat. Make sure that you're being charged per correct member. If we now go to billing, then you can see the exact plan. And also if you go to explore plans, you'll see that it is per member per month, or if you do yearly, it will be on an yearly plan. Next, let's do a brief overview on all of the plans that Notion offers. So Notion currently has a free plan, a plus plan, a business plan, and an enterprise limited plan. And you can also talk with their sales team for the full enterprise plan. Free plan is great for individual users. And if you only need to work alone with none of the AI features needed, then I think free plan can work really great. The plus plan is great if you have multiple members in your workspace and you need to use it as a team. The free plan does run into limits when you use it with more than one person. Business plan would be best if you really need to utilize those AI features like the meeting note taker or the Notion agent. I typically recommend people to upgrade to business plan if they really need Notion AI. And then we have enterprise limited. It gives you a lot more security features that if your company or organization requires more robust security, such as with the AI, there's zero data retention and things like that, then you would need the enterprise plan. It does say enterprise limited here because that's the self-serve upgrade. If you need to do a full upgrade and want to get, for example, invoiced, then you would need to talk to the sales team in order to get the full enterprise plan. Next, let's go over the different features and how that relates to the different plans. So the first thing I wanted to cover are block limits, file uploads, and guests. So the first thing that most people run into when they're on the free plan is the block limit. So what this means is that you get 1,000 blocks if you're on the free plan with more than one member. So that means that if you're only one member, then you can have unlimited blocks. Blocks meaning anything that you see with these 6 dots here, that's considered a block. I think also pages are considered a block as well. So you can see that if you have a lot of pages, a lot of text in here, images, all sorts of things, you can easily hit that 1,000 block limit if you have more than one member. But again, as I mentioned, if you don't have any members, then you have unlimited blocks. So this is a great way to test it out, but you may reach that limit. If you're on the free plan, you can upload files of up to 5 megabytes each. If you're on a paid plan, you can upload files of up to 5 gigabytes each. With guest access, you get 10 guests for the free plan, and people often overlook this, but guests can actually also have full access to a page, meaning that they can collaborate fully with you. They just wouldn't have the same capabilities that you might have in a Notion plan, which means that they don't get their own dedicated private section or collaborate inside of Teamspaces. But let's say that if I were to share this page with a guest, and you can see that the guest has full access. So technically, any guest that you invite to a page can have full access, can edit, can comment, or can view. If you are on a paid plan, you have unlimited guests. Next, let's go over forms, dashboards, and charts. Forms are available on all Notion plans, but the difference would be that with a form, if I type /form, the free plan only allows you to have a basic form, so there's no conditional fields that you can add to it, and also it will have the Notion branding on the form as well. So that's basically the limitation for the free plan. The paid plans all are available to be customized. So you can see here that I can customize various things. And for business and enterprise users, you can add a conditional logic to it. So for example, if someone answers option 1, then we would show another question specific to option 1. Then for dashboards are available only on the business and enterprise plan. And what the dashboards allow you to do is to basically showcase different data sources in one view. So you could do things like add different widgets for different charts. So here you can see all of the tasks that I've completed in the past, and then I could add maybe something else here. So I could add something like this, and then I can actually even move it around and create different charts and views in the same view. So that would be the dashboard. It's a really useful feature. You can really kind of customize it and make it your own. Then for the charts, which you can also see here, it's one chart on the free plan and unlimited charts on all paid plans. And what happens if you do download a template that comes with multiple charts is that it will show that you can only use it if you upgrade it. So keep that in mind if you're on the free plan. The next thing is database automations. Database automations are to a certain degree included in all plans, but for the free plan, it is only for buttons. So what buttons do is if I click here and add a button, I can add various automations to this. So when the button is clicked, you can do all kinds of things here. The only limitation for the button for free plan users is that you don't have the ability to use the mail, webhook, and Slack for these buttons. And same for if you type /button. These are also more basic in the free plan. And if you have any of the paid plans, you can utilize this database automation, which means that it is watching for certain triggers that come into the database. So for example, whenever a page is added, you can do all kinds of actions here. So this is great for changing the assignee when a status changes, or very basic but still useful automations that you might want to enable in a Notion database. Next, let's go over granular database permissions. So this is a feature that's only available on business and enterprise plans. And what it allows you to do is, for example, if you have a master tasks database and you have a bunch of tasks like this, but you don't want one person to see the other person's tasks, then you could set different assignees. So let's say that I have something like this. And if I go to my share settings here and I click add a new rule, you can see that I can select the person property, for example, assignee, and make sure that they can view on this one or can edit, and then create that rule. If I were to share a view of this database to Organized Notebook Manager, then they don't see the organized notebooks. If you need to make things like client portals or hide certain rows from certain people, this is a good way to do it. The next feature I wanted to go over is Notion AI, and this is often the biggest reason someone might want to upgrade to business or enterprise plans. Notion AI basically allows you to access all of these AI models within your Notion workspace, and you have unlimited use for this. You can also set up personalized instructions for your AI agent, and it can make changes and updates into your Notion pages and databases as well. There's really a lot you can do with it. I can even highlight text and then use my AI skills to do various prompts there too. One of the big features is the meeting note taker that Notion AI has. So if I type /AI, you can see AI meeting notes, and then I can start transcribing any meeting. If you are already paying for other meeting note takers, you might consider just switching over to Notion if you plan to have everything in one place. The other thing is the AI connectors. So if I go to my settings here and then add sources, you can see all of the AI connectors that are available in Notion. So you can connect any of these. The ones that are grayed out, these are for enterprise users only, but everything else you can actually access the information directly from your AI chat. The other thing would be the workers, which is a new feature with Notion's developer platform, where you can basically create various automations using that platform. However, that does use credits, and it also relates to Notion's custom agents, which you can see here. This is also an add-on feature. Custom agent allows you to run certain tasks autonomously, even if you are not directly prompting it. So it can do things like weekly status reporter, morning briefs, and so on. The other thing that's really important for many people is the data retention. And for enterprise, there's 0 data retention. For all other plans, it's 30 days. So that's another key thing to keep in mind as you're looking into these plans. Next, let's talk about Notion Sites. So Notion Sites is a way to basically publish your Notion page as a website. And for all plans, you have unlimited published pages. No matter what plan you're on, you can click the share button and then go to publish and then publish it as a site. The limitations here are that for Notion.site domains, so what you see here, you can get 5 of them on paid plans as opposed to 1 on the free plan. And then you can also do customized site styling on all paid plans. So if I click here, you can see all the kinds of things you can do. You can decide on different headers. You can also update the icon here. You can decide what kind of theme it should follow, and the Google Analytics here as well. So there's a lot of customizations that you can do with Notion Sites when you're on the paid plan. Advanced search engine indexing is also requires a paid plan, and then custom domains and branding requires a paid plan as well, with an extra on top for paying per domain. If I go to my settings, and then if I go to public pages, you can see how many Notion sites I have, public forms, anyone with the link can view, and so on. But the most important thing is this domain. So if I click here, new domain, I can create up to 5 Notion domains, as I mentioned. But if you do want to attach a custom domain that you already own, then it costs $10 a month for that. Next, we have offline mode and archive features. So offline mode is available on all plans. It's just that for the free plan users, you have to choose the pages to download for offline use. So if you go to the 3 dots over here, you can see available offline, and then it's going to get downloaded like this. But if you have any paid plans, then recents and favorites are auto downloaded for offline use. So I don't even need to worry about that. Most of my recent pages or things in my favorite section are just going to be available offline, which is really nice. With the archive feature, this is only for business and enterprise only. And basically what it does is, let's say I have a test page in my database. I can go ahead and archive that if I want to. So I can do this so that it's archived, and then it disappears from the database, but then I can go to my settings and then I can view archive pages like this. Another thing is that if I go to my search, and then if I go to filter, then I can do content status. Then I can also see all pages that include archive. Next, let's go over page verifications and history. So page verifications are what you see here, ad verification. It allows you to keep certain pages current and up to date. So things like policy pages and all of those kind of pages that you want to make sure that the current information is there. You can add something called verification. If I add a verification, I can choose for how many days. So whether that's 90, 37, or indefinitely, or pick a date. Then I can set that so that I get a reminder that the verification is about to expire. This feature is only available on business and enterprise plans, that you can actually verify any page that's in your workspace. Then if I now go to verified pages, you can actually see every single page that has a verification on. With the page history, the free plan only has 7 days of history, plus plan is 30 days, business plan is 90 days, and then it's unlimited on the enterprise plan. I highly recommend this page history because sometimes you might make a mistake and you might want to fix something. So if I actually go to the 3 dots on any Notion page and then go to the version history, I can roll back all the changes to a previous time. Next, let's go over Teamspaces and Teamspace settings. So Teamspaces in general are available for all users in all plans. So even if you do have a free plan, you can definitely utilize Teamspaces. They basically allow you to segment your different areas of your workspace and make permissioning easier, so you can have different sections for different departments of your organization. One thing with the different paid plans is that you can have private Teamspaces only for business and enterprise users. So with the private Teamspace, what's possible is if I go here, Teamspace settings, then if I go into general, you can see that I can have it so only members can see that this Teamspace exists. This is great for confidential information or section of your workspace that you really need to keep private. You don't even want them to be able to see the name of the Teamspace. That's a good way to use it. The other thing is advanced Teamspace permissions for business and enterprise users. So what that means is if I go here and go to Teamspace settings, you'll notice in the security tab that there are various Teamspace security settings. So who can invite or remove Teamspace members, who can edit the Teamspace sidebar. You can also see what's available with enterprise users. So things like disable publishing sites, forms, and public links, disabling guests, and disabling export. Those can only be turned on if you are on the enterprise plan. The next thing I wanted to cover are admin and security settings. This is where the enterprise plan really shines, but I can give you a brief overview on what is included in each tier. So the first one is page analytics. So you can get basic page analytics on free and plus plans. It includes a list of page viewers as well as a chart displaying views over time. What this is if I go to the three dots here and then I go to the updates and analytics, you can see this kind of analytics chart here. Then with the advanced page analytics, which is available from the business plan onward, it includes everything above as well as a list of page editors. So here you can see the editors. Then for workspace analytics on enterprise plan, it includes everything in business and plus and free, as well as user level analytics, analytics on all pages in your workspace, and search analytics for content in your workspace. So next, if we go to the security and admin settings, all plans have the capability to export the entire workspace as HTML, Markdown, and CSV, as well as two-step verification. You can find these settings by going to your workspace settings, and then under general, you'll be able to see here workspace content and then export it. Then for business and enterprise users, you can export entire workspaces as a PDF, as well as have the single sign-on. With the enterprise plan only, you get all kinds of additional admin and security settings, so you can see everything here. Depending on how much security you need, you might need to consider an enterprise plan for that. So things like disabling public forms, page links, and Notion sites. I would say that this is really good if you are working in a bigger organization because maybe you don't want information getting leaked out. I would definitely take a look carefully at the documentation. Most likely enterprise plans will include those more advanced, robust security features. The other thing I wanted to mention are some tips if you're using the free plan. Maybe you need a bit more time to decide if Notion's paid plan is right for you. I would recommend that one person signs up for Notion's free plan, and then you can actually, for example, create a page. Let's say that this is your HQ page, and underneath you could add a task database or maybe a projects database. Then what you can do is share this entire system and basically page where you have tasks and projects and all kinds of information to other people you want to work together with. So as I mentioned, the free plan includes 10 guests. So what you could do is go to the share settings here, and then you can invite people in to this page with full access as a guest. And then anything inside the page, they will have full access as a guest as well. So technically you could consider working together with up to 10 people and really test out Notion and try it out. Of course, with this method, you will not get the AI access for your team members. They won't have their own sort of private section or anything. And the permissioning would only come from this page, and you wouldn't be able to sort of do it through the Teamspaces. But this is a really solid option if you want to set things up first, invite those guests in, and then eventually possibly have them as members in the future. Next, I wanted to cover some of the special discounts that you might be eligible for with Notion. So the first one is if you are in education. So if you're an individual student or teacher, there is a possibility to get a free plus plan for a one-member workspace. You can also, if you are a student organization, you are eligible for a free plus plan workspace with unlimited members. You can submit applications through here. These links I'll also put into the description so you have them. Another thing that Notion seems to offer is Notion for nonprofits, which would allow you to get 50% off of Plus plans. Here you can also apply to get pro bono consulting. The final thing I wanted to mention, if you're interested, is that there is a business plan with AI included trial. If you have a business email and you've never paid for Notion before, so I'll leave my link to that in the description below. If you're interested in trying out Notion's business plan features and AI features as a team, then this is a really great way to utilize that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was useful. If you're interested in any of my templates, free resources, or would like help with custom setup or Notion coaching, be sure to check out my website below or schedule a free discovery call. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope to see you all in the next video.